Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Tori Grace, and it is another episode of Woman Crush Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in. We are on episode, I don't even know what episode we are on, but I think this is like the second or third of the year. So, today I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us deal with, but don't really deal with on a regular basis. Like, we know it's there, but we don't deal with it, and that's healing after heartbreak. How many of you out there have had something happen to you, whether it be long-term or short-term, in whatever kind of relationship you're in, and you have a tendency to flag people quickly in the new relationship? And to me, that's a sign of you still have baggage. So me and you guys know how I am as a proponent for going to therapy. I'm always down for the whole check into therapy, go see somebody, talk to them about your feelings and emotions, because sometimes you talking to yourself doesn't always fix what you're dealing with. And then talking to a friend or an ex or a sibling, somebody that's not able to give you an unbiased opinion, makes stuff really difficult. Like it's difficult for them to give you genuine, honest opinions about whatever the situation may be, because they're a family member or a friend, or an ex would have negative things to say. Healing after heartbreak is something that you have to understand, that there are things that you don't want to deal with in the future for a relationship, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the next person that you deal with is doing the same thing. For example, if you've been cheated on and you got cheated on by your significant other with them telling you that they were working late, like, you can't red flag the next person that you're dealing with as the whole, he told me he's working late, so he's legit working late, or he's not working late and he's got to be cheating on me because that's what happened to you in the past. Like, you have to give that person room to kind of hang themselves, for lack of better words. Like, it's not fair to put your baggage onto that other person. And it's also not fair for that person to put their baggage on you. Like, you can't sit over here and say, yeah, I'm ready to date or whatever, and then that person is tagging you with what their mess was from their previous relationships. And the adult thing to do when healing from heartbreak is for the two adults to actually genuinely sit down and have a conversation. Now, in having a conversation, that doesn't mean the one person sitting there and telling you everything that they feel is wrong with you, and either not giving you the opportunity to apologize or understand where you're coming from. It has to be a two-way street. That's how traffic works. You can't go down one-way streets all the time and get to your destination without being able to turn around. There's got to be some kind of lane, avenue, something for you to kind of cut back to where your destination is. Your destination in this particular instance is being in a relationship with somebody that you claim that you care about. So that being said, first and foremost, healing from heartbreak. How do you let go of the baggage? To me, I think that's something that only time can tell. Only time is going to allow you to heal from the heartache, heal from the hurt and pain. You can't jump from one relationship to the other and think, okay, well, I was with this person for 2 years. I will be cool in 2 weeks to get on to the next relationship, because you're not. You haven't given yourself time to grieve, to breathe, to say, I really need to regroup and get it back together, especially if there's feelings involved, or in my situation, there's a kid involved, where you have to really sit back and take the time out, focus on you and your kids for the while. I can say it has been 2 years. This is year number 3 for me that I've decided to kind of keep to myself, due to the fact that I was not ready to get in another relationship, because I do and did have baggage. Things that people would tell me, oh no, this is just my friend, or no, this is just one of my homegirls. I have a really hard time with dealing with that from people, because it's been something that was done to me on not just this occasion, but over the past, I would say 15 years or so of me dating. And it's hard. So I feel like you as an adult should be able to tell the next person, like, hey, I'm not trying to dump my baggage on you, but I feel comfortable enough to let you know that these are things that to me are like deal breakers, or they make me uncomfortable. And I feel that the person on the receiving end of whatever is said should be able to accept that as well. Relationships are difficult, and they are communication based. That is what happens in a relationship. You have to be able to talk to the other person and be able to say, okay, this hurts, that hurts, and that person should be accepting of it. If they are immediately cut ties, then you have to kind of think about that. Is this the type of person that I really want to deal with and be in a relationship with? Because in my eyes, and I could be wrong, or somebody may have a difference of opinion from me, but in my eyes, if somebody is ready to cut ties so quickly, they themselves have not healed from their baggage from previous relationships. They are not ready to deal with stuff and understand that people are different. If I went based on what my experience is and kept holding on to all of my baggage, and I'm not saying I'm bag free, I'm not Delta baggage claim, but I still have some things that I've held on to from the past. I would never date another black man again. And that's just me being honest, due to the fact that my experiences have all been with men of color. And in my experiences with men of color, they've not been positive. They have been negative due to the fact that that's just, I guess, how I pick them. I don't pick always the best type situation to get into. But I think men do the same thing. You'll get into a relationship, you'll have a similar situation to what it was before, and you'll see that. And rather than you taking a step back and saying, you know what, she's different, especially if you write down all of the pros and cons of this particular individual on a piece of paper and you weigh it out like, oh, you know what, they've got more pros than cons. This is something that I can deal with. I've always said to people that when you're in a relationship, you have to find somebody whose crap you're okay to deal with, and it's not going to bother you that much. And to me, healing in a relationship is one of those things. If two people get together and they know that both of them have been hurt in the past, you should be able to get together and say, hey, you know what, let's uplift one another and help each other out of this particular rut that we're in. We both have a tendency to cut stuff off at the ankles and not give it any kind of chance, or cover it over and don't let the seeds that we've planted of care for each other kind of blossom and grow. So we have a tendency to just burn stuff down, for lack of better words, from past relationships. Rather than stomping out the little fire, you pour gas over the top of it and let it explode. And you don't take the time to think, okay, how could I have handled this particular situation better? How could I make a better decision on the next time that this particular thing happens? Why is it difficult for people to let the other one know, you know, what you did right there didn't make me feel comfortable? And then accepting an apology if an apology is offered. Those things are part of healing after heartbreak. I wish that when you break up with somebody, that you both could kind of sit down and give each other advice on, okay, you know what, well, this is the reason why I wanted to separate from you. I wanted to separate from you because of X, Y, and Z. So that person can know, like, maybe I'm not good for you, but I might be good for the next person. And maybe this will help me in my next relationship or situationship for what I could do better. Healing after heartbreak is hard. You have to take all of your walls back down again. And if you are instantaneously chop it off at the ankles, that means you've not healed. And in you not healing, you're hurting yourself. You could be missing out on the next best thing due to the fact that you're so angry and upset from the things that happened to you in the past that you don't look for the good in the future. I know people that they are quick to see something that was similar to an ex-boyfriend or similar to their ex-girlfriend, and they immediately are just like, no, I'm not dealing with this. I will never deal with this again. I said I would never deal with that again. And they miss out on something great. So healing after heartache, like, you have to give yourself time to heal. And in giving yourself time to heal, that does not mean go out on 57 dates with other people. In your healing time, that should be the time when you spend the most time with yourself, self-reflection, self-love. Take yourself out on dates. Go on trips by yourself, with yourself. Go to the movies alone. Like, those types of things are totally fine for you to do. And when you feel you've gotten to a point where you can breathe and you feel happy, then you can go and introduce somebody else to you again. If you're not okay with being by yourself, nobody's going to be okay with being with you. And that's something that people miss out on and forget. Like, I know people that they've been in relationship after relationship after relationship, and I can't understand how. Like, give yourself time to breathe and heal. Give yourself time to see what you like and don't like. You change after every relationship. The book 5 Love Languages is a book that I highly recommend. It comes in like 5 different ways. They've got one for singles and one for couples. I highly recommend that you get both of those or take the test online. It's free to take it so you can see where you are, especially after a relationship, because again, you do change. And healing after heartache and heartbreak is not something that you just get over overnight. You can't go be engaged 1 minute and then 2 weeks later, okay, well, you know what, that didn't work out, I'm about to go get a new boyfriend. It doesn't work that way. Like, you've got to give yourself time to heal. And it's not fair to the next person for you to take out your anger on them from your past situation. Music Soul Child said it best. Previous cats, like, he's not the one to blame for the pain. Like, you guys have to remember and realize that you must heal yourself. This is another one of those situations where, again, go to therapy, read, be happy, be peaceful with yourself again before you get into the next situation. And if by any chance you do step into your next situation and you've realized that, you know what, I'm holding against you certain things that my ex did, so I did X, Y, and Z to you because of this, I need you to be big enough to say sorry, apologize, say I shouldn't have done that. Be the bigger person to go ahead and say, you know, I shouldn't have taken these things out on you. It's not fair because he or she did it, and you shouldn't be held responsible for other people's actions. Like, you wouldn't want to go and you stopped your car at the stop sign, but the person next to you ran the stop sign. You don't want to get their ticket. So if you don't want to get their ticket for running the stop sign, don't give that ticket to somebody that doesn't deserve it. It takes an adult to be able to sit down and say, you know what, this hurt me, or you hurt me. Like, these are things that I feel, especially men and women, and I'm going to particularly speak on men and women of color because y'all know I'm black, so men and women of color have a tendency to have hurt so much from previous relationships that they've been in that this is a continuous cycle that they have. They have these groups on Facebook like Black Men Don't Cheat and Black Men and Women Let's Love One Another. And a lot of the times, like, these groups were put together to, one of them definitely to troll people in, but the other one is a serious situation to kind of help heal in the Black community. And even though these groups are there, it still seems like there's some kind of disconnect between men and women. And they're so hell-bent on what they've been through in the past that they can't see the forest for the trees. It's the same my mom would always say to us growing up. And it's like, it's right there. Like, you're right in the middle of the forest, but you're so stuck on these trees that are right here in front of you. You can't see everything else that's going on around you, and you miss out. So let's do some healing after heartbreak. Like, it's therapeutic. Like, take yourself on a date, get dressed up, go out, go on a trip somewhere, just smile and be happy. But if you're not ready, like, if you can make a list of why you don't want to get into a relationship, and anything on your list of why you don't want to get into a relationship has to do with my ex did, That means you are not ready to get into a relationship. My ex hurt me when. That my ex did block. If any of those things are on that list for the reason why you cannot get into a current relationship after taking time to heal yourself, then you are still not ready to get in a relationship. So you have to heal yourself. Heal yourself so that you can go out and be happy again, get you a new significant other, get you a new boo, so that you can spend some time. And I'm doing this episode especially for Valentine's Day because I think that's important, because it's like the season of love and everybody wants to be happy and healthy and be with their boo and give kisses and whatnot. So I wanted to make sure I did this episode before Valentine's Day. So hopefully, if you're out there and you're kind of stuck on not knowing if you are ready to heal, I'm hoping I can help you heal yourself so that you can get into a relationship or even do a speed dating thing on Valentine's Day. It's your girl, Tori Grace. That's all I have to say. Heal after heartbreak. Do your best. Heal yourself before you get into the next. Don't hold people responsible for the last person's actions. And just go out there and be great people. So don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Tori Grace, TORIGR, the number 8CE. On Instagram, it's I am Tori Grace. And follow my people, X Squad affiliates. So y'all will be able to see this. I'm about to drop it in the group. We're a day early. It's Woman Crush Wednesday. It's cool. This will be exclusive to the group, and then we'll go live with it on Wednesday. Peace out, people.